Alrighty, we're gonna jump right into it. We've been here with this AC Shadows information. Today is May the 14th, the day I was looking forward to the most. And sometimes, man, it just feels good being right. Sometimes it just feels so lovely that I don't have to talk about this AC Shadows sales shit anymore, because there were so many people bringing up but the sales, and now Ubisoft revealed their fiscals, and guess what? The game is a fucking sales success. Like, it met their expectations. It even went to the point of they had to increase sales expectations because the success of AC Shadows led Deutsche Bank to increase its quarter 4 unit sales forecast to 4.5 million sales, up from 4 million, translating to the expected sales of 230 million, an increase from the previously estimated 205 million. Therefore, they're projecting the game to get even more and more money. Apparently, it sold 3 million units in the first week, and it was the best-selling game, obviously, of March, which NPD described. I don't know why there were so many mental midgets, so many complete idiots, so many brainless morons saying that NPD was wrong when NPD was calculating video game sales since they were in their father's ball sack. Like, I don't understand. I don't get why you would deny data from a manufacturer, a person, a entity, a company that's been around since the dawn of time calculating video game sales. We all knew that NPD at that point, well, the people with rational brains, we all knew that NPD at that point was legitimate. You could argue with it, you could argue against a wall, you could make your own narratives that they have to make like 1 billion, 2 billion, 3.5 million on this game to say that it's a success. You could do that all you want. We could talk about how the company has been sold out a bit to Tencent and all that other stuff, but it doesn't deny of what they said in their fiscal quarters. This is coming from Ubisoft's mouth, by the way, the horse's mouth, that this game was a success to them. It was a critical success in terms of critical reception and commercial sales, and they have said it right here, cut and dry. We are talking about their analyst information right here, which was plucked out. It was plucked out from investing sites. It was plucked out from news wires. It came from Ubisoft itself. This is the official statement of their earnings figures and whatnot, and what came in and what they talked about. So if you're saying at this point, look at this, the launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows, it was a defining moment. It reaffirmed the power of the Assassin's Creed brand with a highly favorable community response from longtime fans and new players alike. We also completed our initial cost savings program ahead of schedule. We are committed to going further with additional savings, blah blah blah, you know, stuff like that. But they are essentially telling you that despite everything, this game is doing well. The power of AC cannot be underestimated, and you know, they're talking about being backed by Tencent and whatnot, but I mean, look, let's see, let's go down the list. Assassin's Creed Shadows, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Fuck, I'm reading all this. The game has already received updates and will continue. Yeah, that's where they will get their money. It sold like about 3 million in about the span of 1 week. So them updating those player numbers, I mean, goddamn, bro. Now that the sales are in, holy shit, and it apparently set a new record for Ubisoft's day one performance on the PlayStation Digital Store. It was only behind Valhalla, and it delivered the second highest day one sales revenue in the franchise history. And for some reason, people were moving the goalposts. NPD is incorrect. All this other stupid, bogus bullshit. At this point, I think the facts are going to latch on to the back of your head, and the dog shit is right on the ground, and it's gonna rub your face right in there, because so many people were saying get woke, go broke of this game, and this game's a pretty fine game. Like, I played it on a live stream. I think the game was pretty fine for what it is, and it sold well. You can't deny the facts of something selling well just because you don't like it. This is the same shit that people did with fucking Silent Hill 2 remake. This is the same shit that people have done with various other video games. If the shit sells well, I mean, you can decide not to like it. That's fine. I don't care. You can decide to do that. But when it comes to the actual sales itself, and if the game sold well, even if I don't like it, you have to say that's impressive, right? I don't like Stellar Blade. The game sold well. It's like, why are you arguing against what these people are saying, these analysts that have the real numbers, or these confirmed factions that really count up the sales numbers? They have the data. Fucking NPD, they have to get digital sales from Ubisoft. Like, that's written off, that's in stone. That's on my previous videos. I showed all that information, and for some reason people were in mass denial about it. Once again, I just think this is a symptom of people letting their own hatred cloud their judgment, and then you lead to situations like this where they really don't think it through. And we know that sales in the video game landscape can go 50-50. You can have a project fail, not sell well, not do really great. This happens to good games and bad games and games in the middle. And you could also have a project just do well and it goes with the sales, whether it's good, bad, or in the middle, and it could be a good game. Like, a good game could fail, bad game could do well in terms of sales figures. It could go vice versa. That makes it very, very funny that people just don't understand, and they can't be nuanced enough to understand this bullshit. Like, I feel like I was talking to people that was 4 years old in my comment section. I was talking to people that did not have brains developed, and I think you guys deserve the meanness. I mean, we've told you, like, that's why I sided with the industry when they talked about these sales and leaks and whatnot, because they would have the information. And why would the dirt sheets that have this information, why would they lie? If they know something's a flop, like Concord, for example, you guys like to bring up Concord. If they know something is a flop, why would they lie about it? These are the same people, by the way, you stupid motherfuckers. These are the same peoples that will pull their articles from other sources to try to brute force and validate that something is a failure. These same people, MPDs, everything. Oh wait, Concord wasn't on the MPD? Let me use that to further my ammunition. Now you're fucking quiet. What happened? What happened? Exactly. Like, people just have to accept the fact that even if you hated this game, it sold well, and it was the second best selling title it was the best selling title in the US. I misread that, sorry. And it was the second best selling year to date game that came out recently. And they said commercial sales did fine for them. They're upping the forecast because they know that Shadows, I said fucking Shadows, Claws of Awaji DLC. They know that Claws of Awaji DLC is coming out, and of course that's going to give them a little bit more of a bump, which is why they announced the roadmap for AC Shadows. So it's like, it's time to stop grifting, but you're gonna keep grifting. This is 9/11 for grifters, we know this. You're gonna keep moving the goalposts, the sales figures and whatnot to try to fit your stupid ass hollow agenda that you have going on. And well, this is coming from Ubisoft Insider, this is coming from them, this is coming from their fiscals. They're fine with it, and you just gotta take that L. All right, man, that was your fork to say, because it's so many people that's been in so much fucking denial when all of this stuff was out prior. Like, Tom Henderson was out talking about this stuff prior, and there were people denying him, and now that it's come to light, what the fuck else can you say but move the goalposts even more? But that's not reality, that's not factual, and we know this. We're moving on to the second part of the video, which is I finished rubbing people's faces in the dog shit because they were completely wrong. But we're moving on to everything else that has been confirmed, because I have a few opinions to say on that as well for Prince of Persia happening. Now, I remember they plucked out Ubisoft Plume for Prince of Persia. They were working on it, and that was the infamous trailer where they said the game, you know, fan base, the fandom, the fan community, they were saying the game didn't look up to snuff, that it looked kind of weird, that it looked like a PS2 game. So they plucked out Ubisoft Plume, and they decided to put the original team on board, which was Ubisoft Toronto, to work on this remake. I'm not quite sure why they didn't do that before. It's just kind of strange to me that you had all this time and you sort of wasted development on a game that was not the best rendition of Prince of Persia Remake. But now I think they're getting it back on gear. This seems to signify that the development has gone really swell on Prince of Persia Sands of Time Remake with Ubisoft Toronto, and they have a projection of a release date for this game, which is 2026, and that was what the update video said, but it's gonna land sometime between January and March, maybe April. I don't think this game should come out anywhere near GTA, which is why they're trying to pin down those dates, because everyone knows now that GTA 6 is fucking coming in late May, and you don't want to contend with that. You don't want to put your boxing gloves up against that, which is why I would assume if the development of this game goes more swimmingly and great, then I can see this coming out March or April of 2026. I hope they said Yuri Lowenthal is not reprising his role again as the prince. That's kind of disappointing. I missed him as the character, but you know what, if they get someone suitable, a Persian actor that can really embody various emotions from the prince in that game, that's the one where Prince of Persia Sands of Time is one of the greatest games I think I've played from Ubisoft back in the past. I really did love that game a lot, and the mechanics and you know, time, fucking, if you fuck up a jump or whatever, you can rewind time with sands and jump back into place and try to figure it out as you go. A very heavily oriented platformer that made you think before you leaped. I can't wait for this game, honestly. It's one of those games where it's like, I want to see what they do with it, and the studio behind it is the original team. That means that I have a lot more faith than what it used to be with Ubisoft Plume, which I heard was a random mobile studio that they picked up to do that game. And once I knew that information, I was like, oh shit, I might not have the best faith in this. My mind might be changing on this, but this time I can't wait to see a trailer, gameplay, all that presentation good stuff, and maybe they can show it at a Ubisoft Forward, and I'll check it out and I'll do a breakdown on the trailer if it really is intriguing or really cool. Can't wait for that. And the last thing that I have to talk about for Ubisoft today, before we close out the video, we've made fun of the grifters. We've made some talks about when Prince of Persia Sands of Time Remake is coming out, but they also have hit us with some disappointing news, but understandable news. Now that Ubisoft has understood you can delay a game like AC Shadows and have it come out and have some people like it and enjoy it and really dig it, now there's time for more improvement to their bigger IPs, because they can't have this stuff just go out there anymore and be the most buggiest game in the world. Yes, you have to really think about the effort and the releases of these games, and maybe this is a shake-up and a wake-up call for quality control. And one of the things they're doing is they're delaying a lot of big games to sort of match a beneficial quality that was equivalent to AC Shadows. And they say as a consequence, for the fiscal year of 2026, 2027, and 2027, 2028, they want to basically try to delay things in the pipeline and see that they could take additional development time on some of their biggest titles to create the best conditions for success. I don't mind delays. I mean, GTA 6, one of the games I'm heavily looking forward to for next year, just got delayed. If you know that you need more time to place it in the oven, I would prefer that versus rushing the game out. And basically, it's the biggest, buggiest piece of shit in the world. Like, I still will say this, Cyberpunk 2077, it deserved a delay. It really did, because I believe the game would have gone over significantly more well if they took a couple of extra months for polish, and you wouldn't see people that are blocky people. You wouldn't see people T-pose on ladders. It was just a natural disaster. It still was successful. You can't say that it's not successful, because it was a successful launch. It sold a lot, but the quality control was not there for that game. It was a big buggy mess at launch, and they had to keep patching it over and over and over again to get it to a point of stability for some people. I remember playing it and it crashed on me, and I was just done with that game. I was just fucking done. I was like, yeah, that's it for me. But the big titles down here, which I'm really surprised by. Some of these I kind of knew, like Rainbow. No, wait, they have something going on for Rainbow? No, I misread that. Sorry about that. But the Splinter Cell remake is possibly getting delayed in the pipeline from speculation here, and the same might go for the next mainline Ghost Recon. I think Ghost Recon has had a bad break point. Put the pun on that right there, spin that like a top. But I think Ghost Recon had a bad break, and while I like Wildlands, I'm very happy to see they are making another one, but I would rather have them take time and care so it doesn't end up like Breakpoint, which was a buggy mess. Oh god. Renegade doesn't criticize Ubisoft games, but when I played the Breakpoint demo, beta, whatever, I was like, this is awful. This is way worse than Wildlands. Like, what the fuck is going on? Splinter Cell remake I am also looking forward to, but Ubisoft has Ubisoft Toronto also working on that game, and I would imagine that taking the time to work on two big AAA titles is taxing. Even if this is a remake, they have the blueprint of the original. All they have to do is upgrade the gameplay, maybe refine the story a little bit more, add in tidbits to tie in with the rest of the franchise and series, and just overall make the gameplay just crisp and smooth and better. Despite that, you still have to bill it as a AAA game. That's gonna take time. That's gonna take, you know, some time, some rewarding and everything. But I'm looking forward to Sam Fisher's return. I really am, because I feel like we are just devoid of a lot of stealth action content. The only one really trying and doing it right now is some of the other Hitman games. And like there's no Splinter Cell, there's no Siphon Filter, there's no Manhunt. We are just seeing a huge devoid, like, decline of the stealth action genre, and I think that needs to change. Sam Fisher really said he's the only one left. We kind of need him. I can't wait till it comes out, though. I will definitely be covering it as soon as it does. And then it says, obviously the next Far Cry is gonna probably suffer from this delay, which makes sense. Far Cry has felt like the same old according to what a ton of the fandom has said. Just copy and paste Far Cry over and over. I think the next one needs to be a huge revision, a huge spike upwards, where it needs to be similar to the boom of Far Cry 3, where when that game came out, that shit was awesome, man. That shit was cool. All the shit you could do. Voss was a cool villain. Just have another cool poster boy or poster girl villain on display with something interesting behind it, and just a lot more refined mechanics than need be. And I think that could go off well if done right. obviously there's something my friend said, like, where the fuck is all the other stuff that they had planned before, which I think is a valid point to say when you talk about the shit that they have, like, oh, Beyond Good and Evil 2, when are you guys gonna talk about that? Which is fair. It's fair. And then the multiplayer projects that they also have, and I think they wanted to do a Black Flag remake. Honestly, I never touched Assassin's Creed 4. I heard that it was pretty fun, just going around fucking stealing ships and being a pirate. I would imagine that's a really fun and unique concept. While I have never played it, I could buy it on my Xbox and check it out there. I used to have like all of the Assassin's Creed games because I used to game share off of someone on Xbox, and I don't anymore. But I could always rebuy it, check it out, maybe do a first impressions, and if they do a remake of that, that's fine. I think the one that needs it the most is Assassin's Creed 1. I cannot go back to that game for the life of me. I feel like that game is way too dated. They could do a lot with Altair's story in that game and just bring it back to the forefront. I mean, come on, they could do a whole lot with it. So the remake that I want the most is the first one, but I don't mind playing a Black Flag remake, you know. And obviously, hold on, another smaller experience for Rainbow Six is in the works. So they have another. I was about to say, like, don't they have that Rainbow Six Siege X update coming out pretty soon, and now they're having another Rainbow Six? I guess it would make sense because they announced Rainbow, Assassin's Creed, and they also announced Far Cry was their big three going forward. So I'm not really surprised that they have a new one coming at us. Pretty interesting stuff, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I used to be a Rainbow Six Siege person. I used to play that a lot, so maybe if the update appeals and they fix a couple of things, iron out the dents, I might be back on that motherfucker, no problem. That's my sort of video on some of the future of Ubisoft, rubbing in the AC Shadows success said by Ubisoft themselves. Now it's just set in stone. I'm just wondering how many people are gonna go schizoid in the comment section over what is factual information from the company themselves. And I mean, if they want to adhere to a bigger quality standard, then I'd say go for it. Maybe Shadows was the wake-up call. I don't mind when a company redeems themselves from being in the rut for so long, because that is exactly what happened with Capcom, in my personal opinion. I remember when the DMC reboot, RE6, all those titles were like Operation Raccoon City, all that shit coming out where people were like, no, I don't, I'm good. And then all of a sudden they came back into the foray with Resident Evil 7 and fucking RE2 remake and fucking DMC 5. I'm all for people redeeming themselves if they can make it work, and this is no exception to the rule for me. It is plenty out there. Konami also, they're kind of doing it, because I thought Silent Hill 2 remake was pretty dope. Anyway, let me know what you think of this video in the comment section below. I'm Renegade Operative. I am signing out. Deuces. See you later. Be good people and take care of yourselves. Later.